Israel's defense minister ordered the military to advance deeper into Gaza, vowing to hold more land until Hamas releases its remaining hostages.
Thousands of protesters gather in a popular square in the Slovak capital Bratislava to voice their opposition to Prime Minister Robert Fico and his Russia-friendly policies. The leader of Turkey's main opposition party, the CHP, has renewed calls for supporters to continue peacefully protesting the arrest of Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu.
Israel's defense minister ordered the military to advance deeper into Gaza, vowing to hold more land until Hamas releases its remaining hostages. After retaking part of a corridor dividing Gaza's north from south, Israeli troops moved towards the northern town of Beit Lahia and the southern border city of Rafah. The military said it had resumed enforcing a blockade on northern Gaza, including Gaza City. Nearly 600 Palestinians have been killed since the truce between Israel and Hamas was shattered on Tuesday. Hamas is still holding 59 hostages, though at least 35 are believed to be dead. The militant group says it will only release the remaining hostages in exchange for a lasting ceasefire and a full Israeli military withdrawal from Gaza.
Thousands of protesters flooded a popular square in the Slovak capital to voice their opposition to Prime Minister Robert Fico and his pro-Russian policies. Over the last 3 months, tens of thousands of people have rallied every second week in Bratislava and other cities demanding his resignation. Protests began in late December after the Slovak premier made a rare visit to Moscow by an EU leader to hold talks with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin. Fico is one of only 3 EU leaders to make the trip since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Since his return to power in 2023, he's on numerous occasions floated the idea of pulling the country out of the European Union and NATO, favoring closer relations with the Kremlin. Fico, who survived an assassination attempt in May 2024, has been under growing domestic pressure for his opinions which differ radically from the European mainstream. He's publicly defended Putin's motives for invading Ukraine and has cut all financial and military support to Kyiv, further distancing the country from the EU and angering Slovaks. The leader of Turkey's main opposition, the Republican People's Party, CHP, has renewed calls for supporters to take to the streets to peacefully protest the arrest of Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu. İmamoğlu was arrested in a dawn raid of his residence on Wednesday over alleged corruption and links to terror groups. Many view the arrest as a politically driven attempt to remove a popular opposition figure and key challenger to President Erdogan in the next presidential race set for 2028. Erdogan denies any involvement in the legal probe, insisting that Turkish courts operate freely and independently. Since his arrest, thousands of people have gathered at Istanbul City Hall, the designated office of the mayor, calling for his release. Clashes have erupted between protesters and police in Istanbul and also in the capital Ankara. A 5-day ban on protests was instated in Ankara after protesters clashed with police on a university campus, where tear gas and water cannons were deployed to disperse the crowds. But despite this, CHP leader Özgür Özel is urging people to exercise their constitutional right and continue participating in peaceful demonstrations.
London Heathrow Airport says it is fully functional after a day-long closure caused by a fire which cut Europe's busiest airport's power. But airlines say disruptions will last for days as they try to relocate planes, crews and passengers, while politicians seek answers as to how one fire could shut down Europe's busiest air hub. More than 1,300 flights were cancelled and around 200,000 people were left stranded on Friday.